We'll start off with our first storyteller, Mr. Patrick Sanders, and he's got a story that's going to just warm your heart. Patrick?
How are y'all doing tonight? People say people can't change, but I see one of my old bosses that was retired standing up there at the back of the area, and he decided to take a second chance on me. People think that no matter what you've done in life, where you've been or anything, you're always judged for it. I am trying to be a living example of the Reentry program and the Amazing Journey program, because a lot of people, when they look at us, they turn their nose up at us. And when they turn their nose up at us, they don't know what that makes people like us feel, okay? We've put in the hard work through the Reentry program under a woman named Debbie Barr. Debbie Barr is like a mother to me. When it comes time for me to need advice or have somebody to explain to me about things, I could always go to Debbie Barr. Then I had 3 wonderful mentors as I was working for facility services in Georgetown County as a state trustee. One was named Robert Burst, the other one was named Gary Davis, and the last one was our superintendent at the time, which Rob has taken over his position, named Donnie Cummins. They always gave me the proper tools I needed for when I made my transition back to society. But when you're in a place that we were in, the only thing you can do is have perseverance and faith, okay? I live my life by the book of Hebrews, book 12, verse 4 through 21. It says, God shall chastise his chosen sons. That just don't mean males, that means females as well. And since I've been out in Georgetown, I have been recently promoted to a supervisor of facility services, along with another guy that is a reentry graduate named Justin Taylor. And I was fortunate enough to meet the love of my life here. And her family has deep roots in Georgetown. But this woman challenges me and pushes me every day to be a better version of myself. And I hope I do that. When I'm out in the community doing work for people on the side and stuff like that, I don't want to be the type of guy that says, no, I ain't going to help you. I want to be the type of guy who's there, because I want people to see through me what Debbie Barr seen in me. And here's a funny story. The first time I interviewed with the Reentry program, Debbie Barr looked at me dead in my face and she said, I don't trust you. Because I was so full of anger, so full of hatred, because of an upbringing that I had. I am a product of the streets. But that Patrick is dead and gone and buried in a field somewhere. I did 14 years and 3 months in the penitentiary off of a 20-year bid. And you don't hear from people saying that you hear from a lot of people about how much fun they had back there. If you want to see the worst living conditions you've ever seen in your life, it is in there. So when people come to a program like the Reentry program, and now Jonathan Branch is the new man over the program. He's helping these guys get their prerequisites done. He's helping them get trades. He's helping them do whatever they can. So if y'all can, before y'all leave tonight, try to see Jonathan Branch and talk to him. Because if you want to volunteer for a good program, the Reentry program is a very good program. It does not have not even a 1% recidivism rate of people going back into the system. When Ray Funny was going to interview me, my boss, Donnie Cummins, looked at me and said, Patrick, do you still want to work for me? And I said, you know I do. He looked at me and he said, go in that office. I went in the office, and guess who was sitting there waiting on me? Ray Funny was sitting there waiting on me. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have no clue what was going on until Ray Funny said, hey, Patrick, this is your interview. So imagine the shock I had. And we went through everything. And I still remember the last question Ray Funny asked me. He said, Patrick, where do you see yourself working for the county in 10 years? And he's sitting in the back of the crowd. He'll tell you. I looked at Ray Funny dead in his face and I said, I'm going to have your job. That's exactly what I told Ray. But when it comes to the Amazing Journey, they have so many great volunteers. A women's club called 142. They are a miracle because when I got my first apartment, they donated all kinds of things to help me get back on my feet with. If you do not have a structured program and if you do not have a structured system, none of us would be able to do what we do now. And me personally, I think everything that Debbie Barr has done for me in my life. Debbie Barr would push buttons on me to see what made me angry. I wouldn't even go back to class for 2 weeks, I'll be honest with you. And when I showed back up, she'd look at me and said, "Oh, you was mad, huh? Sit down, let's talk about it now." That was the way Debbie Barr was. She would come in, do everything she had. When we came off our work cruise, we would be at the Reentry program till 9:30, 10:30 at night because she wanted us to get the work in that we needed. And since I've been away from the Reentry program, I have got an associate's in applied science now. My boss, Rob, and my old boss, Donnie, was at my graduation. I'm steady trying to better myself and show people that anybody can change. Because if you don't change, you're going nowhere. So with everything y'all are doing with buying tickets and everything, and it's going to the Amazing Journey, that's actually going back into the Reentry program to help them out as well. And whenever the boat show comes, if y'all see the Reentry or Amazing Journey, please go there. Thank y'all very much.